kitchen. Today we're going to be working on vegetables. So vegetables, they're the root, the leaf, or the stem of a plant. So it would be something like cabbage and carrots and, let's see, spinach, peas, green beans, lots of variety there. It's one of my favorite food groups, and today we're going to make one of my favorite meals, stir fry. So vegetarian stir fry, you almost can't go wrong. You just put whatever vegetables you like. You could put onions and red bell pepper. You could put, I'm going to use mixed vegetables. You could put pretty much any vegetable. I can't think of a concoction that's gross. So here we go. First, I have my pan here. You're going to want a pan or a wok if you've got one. And we're going to turn our eye, that's what these hot spots on the stove are called. We're going to turn our eye to medium heat. So medium heat, and we'll let that get hot. And then you're going to want to oil the bottom of your pan. I'm using coconut oil. You can use canola, vegetable, whatever kind of oil you have in your house. But I'm using coconut oil. It's one of the best oils in my opinion. It's just so versatile. You can use it everywhere. You could use it on your skin. It's great. So I swear this isn't sponsored by coconut oil, but it might as well be because I'm going to use a lot. I'm going to coat the bottom of my pan just kind of evenly. I don't want to fry the vegetables. I just want them to be sauteed nicely. So my pan is kind of coated, and I'm just going to move the oil around by moving the pan around like this. Then I'm going to leave it on the eye to get a little bit warm. So the ingredients that I have out today, I have sesame seed oil, which is pretty potent. I have teriyaki sauce, and I have minced garlic. So those are the things we're going to use to kind of give flavor to the vegetables that we'll be cooking. Now the vegetables, I have some leftover spinach and some mixed vegetables that include peas, green beans, carrots, and unfortunately corn. I'm not a huge fan of corn, but it's in there. Corn is actually a grain because it's from the cereal grass family. I don't know if you knew that. Kind of interesting. So while the pan is getting hot, I'm going to make the sauce that's kind of going to go over all the vegetables when they're done. So I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of the sesame seed oil. I have my, it's hard to read, but I have my 1/4 cup measurer. It's almost a little too faded from being in the dishwasher. But this is a 1/4 cup, and you don't need that much as far as the sauce goes because sesame seed oil is a very strong flavor. You don't want too much because it almost kind of has like a burnt flavor to it, and if you put too much, your food's not going to taste like you cooked it well. So I'm putting it in. And remember, we fill liquids, well, we fill all things in a measuring cup all the way to the top. That's how we know we got the right amount. So that goes in my bowl. Next, I'm going to add the teriyaki sauce, but you could use soy sauce if you have that. You could use hoisin sauce. You could use sriracha sauce. Sriracha sauce. Sriracha. You could use that. And don't be afraid, if you don't have any of these sauces, check your junk drawer. Maybe you have a bunch of those little packets that come with takeaway food. You can use those too. Just squeeze them all out into a bowl. Make do and mend, they say. Oh, so next is the teriyaki sauce. So I'm using my 1/3 cup measurer. Hope you can see that. It's, again, a little faded, but it says 1/3, so I know it's a 1/3 cup. I'm going to put my teriyaki sauce into this cup, filling it all the way to the top. Takes a second. Okay, that's in the bowl. And to thicken your sauce up, if you want it thicker, you can add just like a tablespoon of cornstarch, and that'll thicken it up. I don't have any, and because we live in the time of coronavirus, I don't really make quick trips to the store anymore. I go every 2 weeks, and since I went last week, I'm not due to go again in a while, so we're making do. Lastly, I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic. This is my teaspoon. I'll show you because it's written on the back. I don't know if you can see it, but it says 1 TSP. Stands for teaspoon. So the garlic's going to go in as well. And I'm just filling it all the way up to the top and kind of scraping it on the edge of the bottle so that it's level. But you can always add more or less depending on your taste. Or you don't have to add any at all. It's all easy going. Mixing that together. Let me set the spoon down. Alright, and I'll show you the sauce. You can see it's like kind of a brown liquidy mixture. And it's just going to coat the vegetables all very nicely. Alright, so starting with the vegetables, my pan is pretty warm. I can see some steam coming off of it. I'm going to get a cup of vegetables. Again, filling it all the way to the top. And I'm just going to spread those evenly out in my pan. I'm turning the heat down because I'm feeling some sparks. Some little bits of oil jumping out at me. And actually, I have one of these kind of netted pans that you can put on top so that the oil doesn't splatter everywhere and burn you or get your stovetop all greasy. I'm going to keep that on there. And I'm going to use a wooden spoon when I want to stir it. So the wooden spoon is not going to melt to the pan. You don't want melted plastic in your vegetables. I'm going to scoot them around. So these are frozen vegetables. That's why they're going in first, so they kind of have to melt down a little bit. Melt all that ice that's around them, encasing them. And once the ice, I can see that the little ice crystals are gone from the vegetables. Then I'm going to add my spinach because the spinach is fresh and I don't want it to burn while the rest of the vegetables are just defrosting. Okay? You could even defrost them in the microwave first. I just didn't do that. Alright, I'm going to move this out of the way. Alright, so I'm not adding the sauce yet because that's going to kind of caramelize on top of the vegetables when they're halfway through cooking. I'm going to let them do their thing before we add the sauce. Have them mostly cooked before you add the sauce. Hold on. I'm moving the frozen vegetables to the outside edge of the pot. Pan. To be fair, where does the pan become a pot? Who knows? Alright, those are on a nice little ring around the pan. Now I'm going to add some spinach to the mix. Yummy spinach. Spinach is my favorite vegetable. When it's been cooked down. Whew. Alright, so now I'm going to scoot the spinach around. Break it up here a little bit. Now I'm going to just start tossing them all together. Alright. Spinach does not want to break down. There we go. Kind of moving itself around now. Okay, at this stage I'm going to add some of my sauce, but not all of it. I kind of made a lot of sauce for just a cup and a little more of vegetables. But you could keep this sauce and mix it in with some rice that you've made previously, or I made some previously, and then it will flavor the rice and all the vegetables. So I'm just going to use about a half of this mixture and just pour it right on top of the vegetables. Yummy, yummy. Woo! See if I can move the camera so you can see it. It smells so good. Okay, so we're just going to let the water cook off from our sauces. You don't want it sopping wet. You want the sauce to be kind of, they call it a reduction, basically, and it's a reduction in the water that's in the sauce. And it makes the sauce, it gives it a kind of sticky texture, so it clings to all the vegetables and the rice that you put it in. If it didn't do that, it would all sink to the bottom of your recipe and then you would have unflavored vegetables or unflavored stir fry, which is not what you want. So I will continue moving it around just to make sure nothing is stuck in one place at any given time because you don't want it to burn in place. Gives everybody a chance to get all over the pan and cook evenly. So why are vegetables so important for you? Well, we talked about how they have phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, all sorts of good stuff, but vegetables have a lot of fiber. Fiber is this kind of material, it's a plant-based material that can't break down in your body, but what it can do is keep things moving along. So when you have fiber going through your bloodstream, it's cleaning out your arteries, your veins, keeping fat from building up in them, and it also helps you go to the bathroom. When you're doing a BM, it shouldn't be painful or hard if you have enough fiber in your diet, because that's just going to kind of push it along, help get all that waste byproduct out of your body, because you don't want it to sit in there and just rot. So I turned it down to medium heat just because it was splattering at first. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit to burn off more of that oil, the water. The oil is going to stay, the water is going to evaporate. You can kind of see some of the steam coming off now. Alright, ooh, it's looking pretty. Most of the water has come off, so I'm going to actually turn it off now. Let it sit. Okay, so earlier I made a big old bowl of rice, and that is just going to be a nice bed for these vegetables to lay upon. I'm going to add the rest of my sauce, and you can cook the sauce if you want to, you don't have to. I'm going to add the rest of the sauce to my rice to give it that flavor. Move it all around, get it all mixed up nicely, and I'll show you. Hopefully you can see that. So even though my pan is off, the eye is off of the stove, the vegetables are still cooking, which is fine. They're not going to overcook or burn or dry out or anything. Okay, my sauce is all nicely incorporated or blended in. And now I'm going to add the vegetables on top. And all that extra caramelized sauce that we made. You can buy pre-made sauces, you can make your own sauce. No, I just feel like stir fry is just so easy and versatile, and you can make it to any liking that you choose. I'm kind of blending it in with the rice, but I'll leave it on top so you can see what I'm talking about. Usually I would make more vegetables to go on top, but just for demonstration I only made 1 cup. So this is how it came out. Yummy! I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. Alright, if you make stir fry, let me know what ingredients you use, because like I said, any vegetable will do. And if you have any questions, please send me an email. You could put it in the stream. Let me know. I would love to answer them. Alright, bye! Alright, usually I would keep more of it. I'm gonna bring to the rice. No, English Madeleine. Here we go. Just a second. Put a lot of splatter on this stove. Hopefully you can't see it. Well, holy moly, this smells so good. I just feel like, I just sounded like I was gonna cry. I just feel like, hello. My hair clip picks now to start falling out. Okay. And we're gonna turn our, what is going on with the radio? That's a song from a TV show, but I don't know which one. So when you do your twosies, If it's kind of hard to, oh gosh, this is a really tough topic. I talk about a lot of really nice things on this, I almost said show, in this class.